28. And you know that something came across me. The Falcons, they're used to this. They won't make the playoffs, but you know what they will be playing themselves out of?
What's that?
A top draft pick. Because why, Dad?
Because they suck so much, they're gonna have a high draft pick next year.
All right. All right. Let's get the show started with that bang, man. So, one player from the Saints that should be traded before the start of the 2024 season. Who is that in your opinion, Dad? If you had to pick one player to get traded, not cut, but traded, who would it be?
Well, there's just hypothetical stuff here. I guess
Yeah.
maybe Cam Jordan. I think his best days are behind him.
All right. Yeah, I could see that being an answer, but I'm actually going to go with Jamal Williams just due to the fact that we have Kendre Miller, and I'm not going to lie, I think Kendre passed up Jamal Williams last year. Like, you can blame the O-line, you can blame the coaching, but at the end of the day, I started calling this man Mr. Stuff. Because every single time that man got the ball, he kept getting stuff. There's no reason that Kamara has all the open holes, Miller has all the open holes when Jamal Williams gets in the game. That man has to pray that the Falcons are off guard on the last game of the season to get a touchdown. After he had 17 the season before, that just don't happen. So my answer is Jamal Williams. But speaking of running backs, that in your opinion is Alvin Kamara an all-time great as a Saint?
He's an all-time great Saint. Yes, he is.
Yeah, I think so too. I was debating this, like, if you would have had like a couple of days ago, I was like, because I was obviously making the script like way before today. So a couple of days I posed the question to myself, and I'm like, I mean, I was planning on saying no, but then I thought about it. And I'm like, I mean, he's never really had a bad season, and for Saints terms, that's pretty good. The Saints are usually used to having bad seasons, and Alvin Kamara, hey, he was pretty amazing, especially that 2017 and 2020 era, and even the last couple of years, he's been doing pretty good. So Alvin
I mean,
Kamara,
as far as my time watching Saints football, which goes back to 1987, I mean, you talk about the great running backs in Saints history. There's only a few of them, a couple of them. I mean, you got, I think the best of them all was Deuce McAllister. I mean, as far as the years playing and the production and the numbers, Deuce, Ricky Williams only did it for a couple years, and Kamara probably like right behind Deuce as far as the pecking order, in my opinion.
all right, I can't really have a take on that, but okay, all right. So Dad, this might be a question that a lot of people might call me stupid for asking. Do you see Derek Carr as an elite deep ball thrower, like an elite person that can get the ball like 50 yards downfield, or not really 50, but like down the field to like a Rashid or an Olave?
We saw last year some glimpses. If you give the man some time, Rashid got that speed. Give him some time. He can throw it out there, and yes, big plays are there to be made.
Man, Derek Carr as an elite deep ball thrower, I'm gonna side with yes. Like maybe elite's a strong word. But yeah, I would say he's an elite deep ball thrower just because due to the fact if you look in the Tennessee game, in the Carolina game, and in some of the Green Bay game before his injury, Derek Carr was throwing them things.
And if you remember, I forgot what exact games it was. It was like 3 or 4 games in a row. A lot of close games at the end. I don't know if it was Derek Carr or if it was bad coaching, but he was throwing a lot of helicopter balls when they were not there. I don't know what was going on. It's 2nd down and 2, helicopter ball, incomplete. 3rd down and 2, helicopter ball, incomplete. I don't know what
Remember
was
that
going
Texans
on.
game?
I forgot which game they were, but I have to go
I
back and
remember that
look.
Texans game where we were down by 7, and then we threw 4 straight Hail Marys at the end of the game when we just needed
That
20
was
yards.
one of them, and there was another game in there that I was like, why don't y'all run the ball? Why don't y'all do some short slant routes? Y'all forgot what a slant route is? a little
I guess.
crossing pattern. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
I think it was bad coaching myself.
Well, this season will determine it. Like, I'm not saying we have to owe Pete Carmichael an apology if Klint Kubiak also slims out, but we're gonna have to start questioning some things about Carr. Let's just say that. All right, so now, Dad, I have a question for you. Do you think the Saints offensive coordinator, Klint Kubiak, do you think he will improve the O-line play in New Orleans?
I think he will. His only well, maybe this goes till he won't, because his only offensive coordinator job was 1 year in Minnesota when they had like a 3-step drop offense. Like, get the ball out of your hand because our offensive line is so bad. We are not even going to try to build up the offensive line. We are just going to try to throw it before the quarterback gets smoked. So I don't know if that's telling you that he doesn't have an idea what he's doing with the offensive line. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to improve the O-line, but I don't think that's a bad thing. For example, with the 49ers, Trent Williams. Can you name any other O-lineman other than Trent Williams? I think so. And if you even try to name a player, I guarantee you they're not even like close to being an All-Pro or something. All right. So now let's get into some basketball. Okay. So this means one thing for the New Orleans Pelicans, and I'm about to tell you. So obviously yesterday we got the news that Cody Zeller would also be to Atlanta, but Michael Scotto had a tweet. I don't know when, but he said Pelicans executive David Griffin, and this is a quote from David Griffin. In the past, we've always erred on the side of continuity, and our takeaway has always been let's see the group healthy. I think we've seen it enough. I think we had some really good opportunity to see Zion play a career high in games. I think we saw it for segments of time well enough to understand that we've got a lot of work to do because it's a historically good Western Conference. There are teams that didn't make the playoffs that are going to get radically better this offseason. We need to do the same. I don't think you'll see a real sense of urgency from all of us to do that, and then had eyes emoji. Okay, as you know, we had reports that the Hawks send Dejounte Murray to the Pelicans for Larry Nance Jr. pair of picks. You get the idea. So that's not the only time Dejounte Murray has been in a trade. As we know, a couple years back, the Hawks and the Spurs, back when he played for the Spurs, they agreed to a trade where the Hawks would receive DeJounte Murray and Jock Landale, and the Spurs will receive Danilo Gallinari, 2023 verse via Charlotte from New York, and a protected 2025 first and a 2026 pick swap and the 2027 first. Now, that's basically a lot of people. That's basically what the Pelicans traded. All right, they didn't trade as much draft picks, but Danilo Gallinari for DeJounte Murray, people were like, that's a fleece. And people are like Larry Nance and Dyson Daniels, Cody Zeller, and EJ Liddell for DeJounte Murray. That's also a fleece. Okay, so I think people are just undervalued. I think what this means for the Pelicans is that people are once again sleeping on DeJounte Murray. Because Murray can hoop. Like, a lot of people thought Ingram was going to be in the trade, but either the Hawks didn't want Ingram or the Pelicans just they were able to get some loose on Atlanta. So, Dad, what do you think this means for the Pelicans getting DeJounte Murray?
Well, the Pelicans definitely need a shot maker, especially in the fourth quarter. I mean, I forgot the exact record, but it was something like
0-24.
0-24 trailing into the
Kobe would not be proud.
We lost a lot of close games. We didn't know where to go with the ball on offense in some of those games. So this is another guy that could, make his own shot and shoot with some range and get to the basket. So yes, it'll definitely help out.
Yep. Now this is gonna be the last thing you touch on. Well, we got one more thing, and actually, Dad, you probably know what it is. All right. Well, the NFL better watch out for Jordan Howden in 2024. Okay, and here's why: his 2023 PFF grades overall 67.0, run defense 62.3, pass rush 77.1, coverage 65.2, total snaps 569, and he also booked Marcus May out the door. Okay. Dad, do you think there's another Saints player that you think people should watch out for? That's not like a big name to some people.
No, I mean we know these names. Maybe Alante Taylor, people don't know about, but he was a pretty good shutdown slot guy last year.
Mm-hmm.
So Alante Taylor.
All right. Now I'm about to pull some up. Hold on real quick. So, all right. So first thing, that you actually covered this. Ranking the NFL's worst QB situations ahead of the 2024 training camp. Okay. You got the Broncos, Patriots, Colts, Titans, Steelers. But then there's a team that the Saints, right? Why? You're telling me a quarterback that went 9-8, a quarterback that some people had going number one overall a couple years ago, and a quarterback who a lot of people were comparing to Drew Brees coming out of college. That equals a bottom 12 quarterback situation. Are you serious? Man, I can name you worse quarterback situations. Are you? At least they have the Falcons on the list, so they actually agree with us there. But what the? Okay. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I won't even have the Falcons on that list. As much as I hate the Falcons, I think just the Falcons and Saints should be clearly off this list. But no.
Yeah, there's definitely some other quarterback situations that are far worse than what the Saints have right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go quarterback situations, why don't you have the Chiefs on there since their backup quarterback is who? So if Mahomes gets hurt, you're done. Bengals. Burrow gets hurt, you're done. Bills, Allen gets hurt, you're done. What's that? What's that dude's name? Stafford. If he gets hurt, you're done.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, like man, like, we saw it a couple years ago. The Ravens were like 8-4. They're like the one seed in the AFC. Jackson gets hurt, they missed the playoffs. And then a couple years back, the Ravens had like 8 wins. They had firm control of the division. Jackson gets hurt, they still make the playoffs, but they flunk out number one in the division and they lose to the Bengals in wildcard round. Quarterback situation, no. And now that's not even the only terrible article that there was. Because Dad, you actually had this, or you sent this to me. So let me pull it up. All right. Okay. All right. So you actually sent this to me yesterday. So this is top 5 teams that should just hang it up before the season. Top 5 teams that should tank, okay? You might see some familiar teams. You got the Broncos. They drafted Bo Nix. I don't know why you would want to do that. They might just be bad regardless, but I don't know why you would want to tank. Raiders, I mean, okay, but they got Gardner Minshew. I know he's not your prime candidate. Then you got the Saints. First of all, do y'all not know who we are? First of all, we've never taken a quarterback in like 56 years in the first round. Plus, that was the only quarterback we ever took in the first round. So you think we're just going to be like, oh, screw history. But I don't think anybody in the NFC South should want to tank. I don't think anybody in the NFL should want to take, but we know some teams play their seasons differently. But the Saints, with the Mario Davis on the team, with Cameron Jordan on the team, with Alvin Kamara, man, we were 2-2 last year, and we were acting like the world was on fire.
Somebody's over there at Bleacher Report drinking all day long, writing these articles. I mean, you know what? Football players do not tank. You know who doesn't tank?
Mm,
Dennis Allen. He better not tank.
yep.
All these other coaches that are on the hot seat, they not tanking. They want the job the year after. So they trying to win some games. You know who tanks? Players don't tank. Teams don't tank unless you're the Philadelphia 76ers. But the fans tank. The fans want you to lose all the games so you can get that shiny new draft pick. The team, you think Demario Davis cares about selecting some quarterback out of Texas or wherever?
No.
He's not worried about that. He's worried about getting that money. He's worried about winning those games. He's not worried
Yep.
about tanking no football games.
Yeah. And Dad, while you were talking, I received breaking news.
All right, just
The
here
Pelicans have signed their first free agent, and that
and
is Daniel Tice.
Daniel. All right, who's that?
He was like a center for I think Boston. I mean, he was a solid guy. He could shoot. You know, he could play. He could play in the room. He could play under the rim.
We need some big men. So come
Yeah,
on
I
in.
think he's gonna. I think he's gonna replace Cody Zeller because obviously we realized yesterday Zeller was also in the trade. But this is actually gonna end it off. Okay, well we still got you here. So, let's say 3 destinations for Brandon Ingram. These are just a hypothetical 3. Do you think he could be traded to a team like the Miami Heat, Utah Jazz, or Portland Trailblazers? Those are just your 3. Or who would you prefer him to get traded? To get some back?
Um, I guess the Miami. I mean, they have some young assets over there. I guess. Who do you think?
I am actually going to go with a shocking one. I'm going to go with the Trailblazers because I don't think we need any more players. You know, I think this team's set, but if this team collapses, like John O'Barn said on his show the other week, we need some cushion, right? And Trailblazers, they're not a good team. So if we can get some draft picks, those are going to be valuable picks. And let's say Murray don't work out. Let's say CJ starts regressing. Let's say freaking Zion's not who we thought he was. We need some cushion. Okay, so we can get some draft picks, and then maybe we could trade them away to get some better value. All right, that's just my opinion. All right, but now, man, oh man, I had a great show today. How about you?
Oh yeah, it's awesome as always.
Yeah, man. Daniel Tice, welcome to New Orleans. I wasn't even planning on saying that today. So watch, like 2 minutes after the show, Brandon Ingram's gonna get traded to somebody. I don't know, just to piss me off. All right, so where can they find you?
Find me at Warren Newby YouTube page. You can catch me on the Hurricane Mike Show every Monday, sometimes other days during the week.
Yes, sir, man. All right. Yeah, you're gonna find me here at Hurricane Mike, and guys, we just need one more subscriber, okay? So tell your next door neighbor or something just to hit that subscribe button. Like, just it's for free. Like, it's not like these other things we gotta pay for. It's for free. Man. Yeah, you gotta make an account, and that. I mean, yeah, they can maybe hack you in the future, but it's for free. Okay. Okay. So yeah. All right, man. So, Dad, what do we leave them all off with?
I'm gonna leave y'all off today with a little who dat.
All right, I'm gonna leave you off with who that and be a fail concern. Peace out.
Peace.